An anti-bullying project based at Stranmillis College in Belfast has been given almost €300,000 by the EU. The Blurred Lives initiative explores how best to equip young people to deal with cyberbullying. Dr. Noel Purdy is the Director of Research and Scholarship at Stranmillis. Very good morning to you, Noel. Interested in the choice of a title, Blurred Lives? Explain.
Well, I suppose the title, first of all, I would say we're absolutely delighted to have received this funding. It's very competitive funding through the Erasmus Plus Key Action 2 partnership fund. The Blurred Lives project, I suppose, looks at the blurring of the online and offline existence for many young people today. For instance, I was speaking to a group of sixth formers just a few days ago, and I asked them how much time they spent online, and every hand in the room went up when I said, do you spend 3 or 4 or 5 hours per day online? Every hand went up, and in fact some of the young people spend many more hours online than that. In fact, the only person in the room who didn't put their hand up was the teacher. And I suspect that's because the teacher was too busy preparing lessons and marking homework.
Too embarrassed to say.
Perhaps so.
So, I mean, the interesting thing about this project is that it works through the young people themselves. They're very much involved.
That's right. I mean, there are two key features, I suppose, to the project. First of all, it's right across Europe. So we're working with 4 other European partners from London, from Bologna in Italy, from the Open University in the Netherlands, and from Berlin. And that will provide, I think, a unique understanding of bullying across the EU in a fast-changing area. Secondly, yes, it's innovative because it's empowering young people. We want the young people to be co-researchers. We want them to be involved. So it's not just a case of us doing the research to the young people, but we're actually seeking their ideas, not just in terms of how the research would be carried out, but also in terms of the resources and guides that we're going to produce for teachers, for young people themselves, for parents and carers, and also advice for the internet service providers, for the social networking providers.
The research involves mostly children from what they call the lower socio-economic backgrounds. Why is that? Surely there's just as much bullying in public schools as there is in secondary schools.
Well, this is an area which simply hasn't been explored in great depth before, and we're always keen to develop our understanding of this particular aspect. We want to explore that relationship. As you say, it may be the case that it's just as common in other strata of society, but this is a particular focus that we want to look at. Are these young people more or less vulnerable to cyberbullying? Have they more or less access to online mobile phones and tablets and so on? What's the supervision like for these young people? And are they more or less likely to report instances of cyberbullying, and is there support available when they do report that?
How many children will be involved across the 5 countries?
Well, we're hoping to carry out a survey in the first instance, which would involve up to 500 young people from each of the 5 countries, so 2,500 in the survey, which gives us a fairly substantial data set there. And also then we want to do more qualitative face-to-face work with young people in 2 or 3 schools per country. So it's a range of different methodologies, I suppose, and it hopes to give us not just statistical data, which is important in itself, but also an insight into the real blurred lives experiences of young people today.
And if young people, or indeed schools in Northern Ireland, wanted to get involved, what would they do?
Well, over the next few months we have to go through ethical applications, of course, and then we will be making some approaches to schools, and certainly if schools are keen to be involved, we're hoping to work within the Greater Belfast area. They can certainly contact me at Stranmillis University College.
Dr. Noel Purdy, thank you very much indeed.